Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I am your host, Saheem the Dream.
With your boy, Jay McNay.
Yes, Jay Mac, Mizzle. Oh man. We was talking a little bit before we got on, and we got some news and rumors. You know what? Let's just get into it real quick. Yes, so Jay, you gotta kick it off, start it off for us, please. this one is hilarious. We gotta talk about this boy. This is crazy, man.
So right before me and Sal was going on the air, I just happened to get this alert on my phone, and I had to share this with you guys because we started dying as soon as we saw it. I didn't read the whole article, so I'm gonna read it on air for you guys live. But listen to this one. Hope y'all ready. Booker T claims The Rock stole several of his popular catchphrases.
Wow.
So
we know Booker T getting high now. we know he's smoking that ooh wee. We know that for sure.
All right. So The Rock is a world famous face at this point, but he might have borrowed some of the most famous phrases to help him along the way. While speaking to Chris Van Vliet, Booker T said that The Rock stole a number of his catchphrases. This came out when CVV asked Booker T about who had The Rock bottom book in first. So Booker T states, "I had the book in first. I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth whether it's disputed or not. I was the first one to do the book in. I didn't call it the book in. Then The Rock stole it, like The Rock stole a bunch of my catchphrases. I'm serious. He really did." Booker T was asked which catchphrases The Rock stole. I'm not gonna go there. The catchphrases that Rock stole from Booker T remain untold stories from the locker room. He said there's an unwritten rule not to publicity call out such things. Booker T did later say that if you smell what I'm cooking. The Rock apparently performed some gimmicks infringement to help him become the most electrifying man in sports entertainment of all time, according to Booker. You can check it out below. Booker T starts talking about The Rock at about the 38-minute mark. Okay, so here's a link of where Booker T states, he's talking about The Rock. But
okay, you know what? You want to send me a link so we can play it?
Yeah, I can send it to you.
Yeah.
They said about the 38 mark.
I'm flabbergasted. I mean, I'm just like, what? The Rock stole some of Booker T's catchphrases and stole some of his material. Hey, if you guys are joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. If you're catching this on YouTube, subscribe. Hit the comment section below. Hit the like button. Smash the like button. Hit us up. Drop some comments below. Let us know what you think about this foolishness that Booker T is going in on. I mean, come on, listen, man. I heard. You sent me the link.
Yeah.
I heard Austin use the word jabroni before The Rock used the word jabroni. He used the word jabroni in ECW. I heard a few guys use the word jabroni before. This is ridiculous. Like him saying, "What you smell what I'm cooking." All these like claims or whatever. Like there are a few people who use these words before, or these phrases, prior to Booker T, like regular jargon, like in New York and other places. Rock just made it popular, honestly. Like the word jabroni is actually a word in the dictionary. It means moron or nincompoop, idiot. But it's just that The Rock made it popular. But then to say that he stole the book in from him, Jay, man, have you ever seen Booker T do the book end prior to The Rock coming?
Not at all. And so, you know, certain moves like regular moves, like, you know, elbow drop, forearm, or headbutt. You know, so certain moves look regular, but you know, even was it the I forgot the move they called the Samoan Slam or whatever. I can't think of the name of it. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, certain moves stick out, and Booker T performing the rock bottom would have been one of the moves that's like, oh, I'm sorry, Booker T performing the book end would have been one of those like, oh, snap, okay. So, yeah. And he definitely was used as a finisher, because we would remember that, because his finisher was the Harlem Hangover. So,
right, Harlem Hangover. Sometimes they'll beat you with the Harlem Hill Kick. Sometimes it was the Harlem Hill Kick, Harlem Hangover, right? And
the Heat Seeker was the drop kick with the top ropes.
Right. So I mean, you know, Book is saying this, man. I'm just like, bro, come on, man. Like, I was watching WCW heavy, and I was watching, you know, WWE heavy. So, and I used to go back and forth. And I remember, you know, it's so funny because me and Andre, we were talking the other day, and he was sending me, you know, like different promos and stuff, and we were just kind of, you know, having conversation back and forth. So I think I went and looked at a promo with Scott Steiner, because I just got so hyped up on WCW, and I went back and I started looking at Scott Steiner promos, and I'm like, man, this guy has some funny promos. He has some great promos. But then in one promo segment, him and Booker T, like, Steiner comes down, you know, he's talking his talk, and then Booker T comes down. So right around this time, this is when Steiner was like, you know, campaigning to be, you know, WCW champion. And I see Booker T comes down. So Booker T, he has the whole flat top. You know, the flat top was like real round in the back, and then it points up in the front. You know, very similar to how The Rock had his hair cut around that time. You know, he had the Rock, Booker T had the little sideburns. He didn't have the thick sideburns, but he had the little sideburns. And he had the leather suit on, the leather coat, and the leather pants, and the black shirt. And I'm like, yo, look at this fake Rock wannabe. I remember having a conversation with Nuff, and he was going back and forth with WWE and WWF. And he was like, look at the Booker T. Look at this fake Rock ripoff. It was like, it was so evident, like Booker T was ripping off The Rock. Like that, you know, Scott Steiner, even though Scott Steiner in some retrospect was supposed to be their version of Triple H, he didn't really feel nothing like Triple H.
Right.
But it was very evident that Booker T looked like a Rock ripoff. Like he was ripping him off, you know, with the hairstyle. Then he was coming out with the shirts on, and you know, the way he was dressing and the way he was presenting himself. Like, he wouldn't come to the ring in his regular ring attire. He started coming to the ring all dressed up, looking all GQ. Then they started calling him Mr. GQ. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Oh, man. I'm trying to pull up the clip.
Okay.
All right, let me see. All right, so and it says that it's at what mark again?
38-minute mark.
38-minute mark. All right, so let me see if I could get this clip going.
I don't want wrestling to be the one thing that defines me at the end.
All right. So 38-minute mark. Let me get this going real quick. All right. So I'm going to pull this up real quick.
The nerve, dude.
The nerve.
You know what, Booker T sounds like the disgruntled uncle or the bitter guy. I mean, he gets accolades, so why are you trying to stay relevant at this point? I don't know, because you notice, you know, every time on the show we talk about Booker T is more so talking about something that he said or something he's talking about a beef he has, or you know, and no, we're never siding with him. You know, I think the only time we sided with Booker T was when Sasha made it clean that her and Bailey is better than Harlem Heat. I think that's the only time we like, okay, we sat on Booker. But everything else, Booker just been complaining, saying a little whiny baby, you know, said who's just trying to stay relevant. So.
Yeah, right.
And again, Yeah, and again, as you said, you know, even if he did steal, even if The Rock did steal catchphrases, like I mean, like you said, he made it famous. You know what I'm saying? So
Right, exactly. I'm just like this guy, man. 38-minute mark.
On my tombstone, it's not going to realize Booker T, the wrestler, ex-wrestler.
All right.
That's not going to be it. It's something.
So I'm going to fast forward.
Something much bigger than you know what I've gone through so far. No, man. My thing is, man, it's the thing has been the journey for me, like crazy, man. The times I've had on the road, you know, it's been the greatest times in the world, you know. So it's been great for me, but nah, man. I like I say again, as far as Sting go, I hope he have a great run and finish the thing out the way he really want to finish it. But there again, it could be a rocky road.
I'm really curious to know who had the bookend / rock bottom first. I know that became a part of your storyline with The Rock.
Yeah, I had it first. I'm not going to sit here and try to go back and forth. You know, if it's disputed or undisputed or not. I was the one who came up with the bookend. I didn't call it the bookend. And then I picked the name of The Rock stole it, just like The Rock stole a bunch of my catchphrases. Yeah. I'm serious. He really did.
What other catchphrases did he steal?
You know what? I'm not going to go there. You know, because that's like those untold stories, unwritten rules, stuff like that. You know, that we don't put out there. Locker room stuff.
That's very interesting. Okay.
Wait a minute. If you smell what I'm cooking.
Oh no. That was it? That's the one?
Hey, I'm just saying. All right? I'm just saying. All right?
Wow.
I don't want to start nothing. I didn't hear me say anything. Other than,
You know, you mentioned the King Booker storyline, which was so fantastic, especially because, you know, you had Queen Sharmell. I always wondered, did Sharmell want to be an on-screen character?
Okay. So I think what we have to do is, I'm gonna be honest, because I have to be honest, and I'm a person of diligence. So what I'm going to do after this show is I'm going to, after this show, whatever, I'm going to Google and YouTube, this material to see how accurate Booker T is. You know what I'm saying? Like, can someone create a timeline, or was there a timeline of this, a timeline of this stuff, so I'll know or we'll know for sure. Sean Key says, like Sai said, even if he stole it, he made it popular, right? Like, he made it popular. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, because when Stone Cold would say, open up a can of whoop ass, like that's like slang that everybody used way before Stone Cold said it. He just started saying it on TV. And it popped because, again, he was saying it at the right time. He was dropping the catchphrases at the right time, but he was using it often enough so that it was sticking people's heads. You know what I mean? So, I mean, like, even like Stone Cold, when he'd be like, what? I mean, we from South Jamaica, Queens.
Right.
The phrase "what," like Noriega made that phrase "what." The rapper Noriega, what? He would say that throughout all his music. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, it's just how you use it. It's funny to me that Booker T says that The Rock stole this stuff from him, because it's like there are people who were using these catchphrases way before he was using those catchphrases, or it's been popular jargon that's been used throughout, through the urban community. So
I give you another one. There's one wrestler who took two basic words.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, he definitely stole from everybody.
Yeah.
He took yes and he took no. And those are the most two popular words in wrestling right now. You know what I'm saying? Anytime typically when you say yes, yes. You know what I'm saying? Or no,
yeah.
No. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna use that, Daniel Bryan basically stole yes and no from everybody.
Exactly. Like for instance, like Chris Jericho stole from Santa Claus. You're on the naughty list. Like, you made the list. Like, you're on the naughty list. Like, remember when you was a kid and and you used to do something bad, and you was the kindergarten teacher's like, now you're on my list. Don't get on my list. You don't want to be, you Jericho, you just made the list. Like, I mean, come on. Like these are and that's the thing. And I think that is the magic of catchphrases. These are catchphrases that everybody knows, but that stuck with everybody and that were very popular amongst everybody, but they use it at the right time to make it pop, the right moment, the right time. And Booker T is hilarious. He stole the Sambo suplex. Like, come on, bro. Like, I don't know, man. Whatever, Booker T.
That's the name of the move. I can't. They just can't name it.
Uranagi, right? Uranagi, right? Because the Uranagi is, it's like, because the Sambo and the Uranagi is like the Uranagi. I think you pick them up and you throw them down like the rock bottom, or you pick them up and you can turn on it and throw them down.
Right.
The Sambo suplex is it's pretty much the rock bottom, but it's pretty much the rock bottom. It's the Sambo.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, whatever, man. Whatever. Like, shoot, Dolph Ziggler done stole all of Shawn Michaels' whole style. Like,
now we talk about Dolph Ziggler.
Oh yeah, the heartache kid.
Yeah.
Yo.
I'm mad they had the side by side with Shawn. They showed Shawn taking a super kick, but Dolph Ziggler super kick. That's why
Right, he failed. Like Shawn hit it, but Dolph didn't. Like that was funny, man. But I mean, come on, Booker T, man. Like Booker T saying what he's saying, like and the thing, and the fact that I'll give Booker T the benefit of the doubt. I'll play devil's advocate and give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe Booker T was definitely known for being a great talker in WCW. He was known for being great on cutting promos. You know what I'm saying? Like a little bit better than Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray was good on the mic, you know what I'm saying? But Stevie Ray didn't get that popularity like Booker T did because Booker T had that raspy voice and he had that great in-ring ability. But, he probably did say some of those things, you know what I'm saying? Because Booker T is very urban, you know what I'm saying? He's never like taking that part of himself out of his character, which is why he really had a lot of support from the African-American community. Like Booker T felt like a homeboy that you can chill with, like, but he was on TV. But on the other hand, it's like, bro, come on, man. Stop it. Because you done ripped everybody off in the hood. Like, if that's like, you done ripped everybody off.
If Booker T want to go after somebody, he should go after Alicia Fox for stealing the scissor kick. If he want to go after anybody.
Right. Alicia Fox. I said Alicia Keys. Alicia Fox and Bull Buchanan.
Oh, right.
I mean, come on. Anyway. You got any more news and rumors, Jay?
Yes, I have one more spicy one.
Okay.
Not that one though. So Vince McMahon is refusing to meet with Zelina Vega, and it's not a surprise in the WWE locker room.
Wow.
So the article states Vince McMahon is a very busy man, and a 75-year-old chairman is hard to get a meeting with. Some superstars are forced to wait a very long time in order to get some kind of face-to-face with him. Zelina Vega was denied an exit meeting with McMahon, but that wasn't a big surprise. It's still worrisome that Vega was released under such circumstances. Zelina Vega was released from WWE after she refused to close down her third-party accounts. She also opened up an OnlyFans after WWE's third-party ban was held down. Spiteful Select reports that superstars they've spoken with are not surprised that Zelina Vega was denied an exit interview. In fact, it's pretty much impossible to meet with McMahon as it is. It was that virtually everyone asked about the reason, the related story about planned meetings getting delayed weeks. The practice of waiting by McMahon's office for hours just to get a face with him was also told. It was also told that Vega's firing doesn't instill a lot of confidence in the locker room. One wrestler noted that it didn't instill a lot of confidence in them that Zelina had an actual concern over hot button issues that wasn't heard out and was promptly fired. A Raw talent reported that over the last 9 months, there has been a shift. Now, WWE is not only releasing disgruntled superstars, but they are also releasing those talents with an upside. It is previously reported that Vince McMahon is allegedly dealing with health issues. Jim Ross also recently stated that his worry about McMahon's current health, considering the continued high volume of his workload.
Wow. Interesting. So Selena Vega was apparently fired because she addressed a lot of hot button issues, a lot of problems that were going on backstage, and certain things that were happening with characters, with wrestlers' characters on television, and she was addressing those things, and apparently she was fired because she was addressing those things, and it had nothing to do with her. What was the situation that we were saying that she was possibly fired for?
Her wanting to unionize.
Right, her wanting to unionize. Right, so it had nothing to do with unionization. It had everything to do with those issues she brings up backstage. She's bringing up, we know that's foolishness. We know it's BS. Like, we know, you bring union up to Vince McMahon, that's like, spitting in his mother's face. Like, he's not having it. Like, bro, like, it's just like, you just don't do it. It's like, if you're gonna unionize, you gotta unionize with the people backstage first, and get like some kind of insurrection, some kind of mutiny backstage, then address Vince McMahon with the whole unionization, because everybody's on board with you. If you got all the talent on board with you, then you do it. But you don't go face to face and try to, fight that fight by yourself, because you don't have resources. Vince McMahon is a rich guy. This guy has plenty of resources. Besides having a bunch of lawyers, this guy runs the #1 professional wrestling company in the world. Like, you know what I mean? So, he holds the keys to legacy of being a professional wrestler. Until the WWE is null and void, or they are out of commission, that man has power. And if you go against a person with power, you have to have an equal amount of power or leverage in order to kind of have some level of advantage above this guy. And if you don't have that equal amount of power or leverage, then you're screwed. You know what I'm saying? You shadow boxing, baby. You ain't hitting nothing. You shadow boxing. You ain't even hitting the bag. You ain't even hitting your opponent. You shadow boxing. So, that's the thing, man. Like, with Vince, man, it's like, you go against a guy, you go against a titan like that, man, you got to have the resources. But we know that's BS. We know.
Right.
Here we go. I got something else. I got some news and rumors. If you got anything else?
No, that's it.
That's it. Dag, man. That Booker T was hilarious. Booker T, he just sit your Harlem. It's down, nigga. All right. All right. Here we go. He ain't even from Harlem. You from Texas? Get out of here, man. He ain't even from Harlem. Get out of here. Talking about some Harlem Heat. You from Texas? Dude from like Texas or something, Austin, Texas, whatever, man. Anyway, Hulk Hogan on not passing the torch to anyone before The Rock. This was a very interesting article. Hogan made some comments about not passing the torch. He had an interview. I'm going to read the article real quick. I thought this was a very interesting article. Before passing the proverbial torch, The Rock at WrestleMania X8, Hulk Hogan admittedly never got the opportunity to coronate the next top WWE star in the 90s before he left for WCW. In a recent chat with WWE UK to promote next week's Raw Legends Night, the Immortal One explained why WWE skipped a generation with regard to the top guy passing the torch to his successor. This is what Hogan says. I think it's passing the torch the most important thing in this business, to maintain the art form and to make sure that the next generation, the next decade of wrestlers is ready, said Hogan. There was a time I was red hot in the 80s, and all of a sudden the 90s came and it was time to pass the torch. But it didn't happen that way. I mean, they didn't have enough guys ready to lead at that time. So, we skipped a generation. The article goes on to say, although many believe Hogan passed the torch to Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania, was it WrestleMania 6? Warrior's run at the top ended quickly. Hogan said WWE tried with a couple of guys, but none of them were ready to take the mantle from him. He said, this is what Hogan says. He said, it took time to pass the torch, which should have been passed at the end of the 80s, said Hogan. I mean, we tried with a couple of guys, putting the belts on them and stuff, but they weren't ready to run. They weren't ready like John Cena. They weren't ready like The Rock. They weren't ready like Stone Cold. Hogan also says, it was very, very important that the torch is passed in the correct way, and the guys that have all this experience don't just walk away. They stay there long enough to build the storylines, build the talent, and then pass the torch in the correct way. It's very, very important. The article also goes on to say, before leaving WWE in 1993, Hogan never got the opportunity to put over Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels, who were considered favorites to replace him as the face of the company. Hogan is among a host of legends and Hall of Famers announced for Monday's Raw Legends Night. Others advertised for the show, all these other people, blah, 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 blah. So there's a small part in that article that says Hogan never got the opportunity to put over favorites like Shawn Michaels and Bret. Now, we all know, I forgot what WrestleMania was, but we all know about the famous WrestleMania, which is not famous for being the best WrestleMania, but by many fans considered the worst WrestleMania.
Was this 9?
Huh?
Was it 9? I think it was 9.
You know what I'm talking about, right? The one with Yokozuna and Bret?
Yeah, and Hogan came out to save the day because Fuji threw salt in Bret's eyes and Yokozuna won. And then the knight in shining armor, Hogan comes out like, who did it? And Bret brother, he walks out of
right.
Like, title match. Like, who authorized this match?
Right. Exactly. Right. Exactly. Right. We all for all of you guys who know wrestling history, to many fans, WrestleMania 9 is possibly considered one of the worst WrestleManias because of the finish of that WrestleMania. And they said the show altogether, that was one of Taker's worst WrestleMania defenses against Giant Gonzalez. But anyway, I don't want to digress. So as Jay explained, Bret Hart fought Yokozuna. Bret loses to Yokozuna via outside interference. Yokozuna, I think Yokozuna either wins the belt or he retains the title. He won the title. He won?
Yeah, he became the new champion.
All right. So Yokozuna beats Bret for the belt, and then Hogan comes out, and then Hogan challenges Yokozuna to a match after he just finished beating Bret. Beats Yokozuna with just a big boot and a leg drop, and he wins the belt and walks off with the title, right? So the story behind that whole situation was actually there was supposed to be a WrestleMania match where that Bret Hart proposed to Vince McMahon and Hogan himself about him having a match against Hogan. And Bret wanted to fight Hogan. And Bret wanted Hogan to pass the torch to him because Bret at the time was being seen as the guy. But Hogan felt that Bret was not ready. So just a little back history, right? So if you guys ever get the chance, try to go to YouTube and look at Hulk Hogan versus Bret Hart in WCW, right? Funny match. Match is hilarious because in WCW, when Bret went to WCW, Bret actually shot a promo where he talked about Hogan, and he wanted a match with Hogan. And he talked about Hogan kind of preventing him from getting the torch, and how he was the man, and how Hogan didn't see him as an equal and XYZ, blah, blah, blah. So he wanted a match with Hogan. So he actually fights a match with Hogan. Hogan's like beating the crap out of Bret. And it's so funny because as he's beating Bret up, he's like, what do you want from me, Bret? What do you want from me? He's like, and he's taking off his belt and he's like beating Hogan. I mean, he's beating Bret like a little kid. It's hilarious. And it's, it's classic Hogan. What do you want from me, Bret? And what happens is Sting, Bret gets hurt. Sting comes in, fills in for Bret. And then Bret comes in and then he actually betrays Sting. And the NWO beat the crap out of Sting, and then Bret becomes NWO, and then Sting says, "I retire." It's hilarious, but it was one of the best matches ever in WCW. But in that, and I'm just saying that I'm just bringing that up, that history, because that was actually a real thing. Like Bret wanted Hogan in a WrestleMania match because he wanted Hogan to pass the torch to him, but Bret always felt like Hogan always felt like Bret was not ready, that Bret was not the guy. Let's be honest though. Let's really be honest. You know what I'm saying? Jay, you tell me how you feel, of course you're gonna tell me how you feel anyway. But but let's be honest. Bret and Shawn did carry the company. But Bret, right, they did. They absolutely did. Were Bret and Shawn the next guys to bring in the new generation? Yes and no, right? When Bret and Shawn were the guys on top, because you only had really three top guys at the time. You had Diesel, you had Bret, and you had Shawn. And, you can count Sid if you want. You can count Undertaker if you want. But those three guys were really the main guys of the new generation era that kind of really were like at the top tier. That really kind of like really brought in, like the real feel of the new generation, right? But the thing about it is Ethan Wick says, "What's up, Ethan? Thank you for joining us." Yeah. So when Bret was the man at the time, the ratings were low. Ratings suffered. Why? Because Hogan left. Why? Because wrestling was starting to hit a wall in popular culture. When Hogan turned black and white, that's when the ratings shot up. When Austin began to have his feud with Mike Tyson, ratings shot up. And at that time, the two top guys in wrestling was Hogan and Austin. You know what I'm saying? Even though Bret and Shawn were the guys who were holding it down for the WWE, they were not the guys that brought WWE back to that level that it was. They were not. So was Hogan right? Yes, he was. Hogan was absolutely right. Should he had passed the torch to Bret? I really felt like that was really up to Hogan. That was really Hogan's decision, whether Hogan really felt that was the right move to make. And I didn't disagree with Hogan. Because even though I am a Bret Hart fan, he's one of my favorite wrestlers. I do not deny Shawn Michaels' in-ring ability and on-mic ability. Yes, on the mic ability. Yes, they're great wrestlers. They're legends to us, hardcore wrestling fans. But were these guys who produced the numbers that Austin and The Rock and Hogan produced? No, they were not. And John Cena? No. You know what I'm saying? As much as I hate Cena, Cena did something. You know what I'm saying? Cena was able to do what Bret and Shawn couldn't do, and Diesel couldn't do. You know what I mean? That's just a fact. Even Brock Lesnar, as much as I don't like Brock, you know what I'm saying? As far as, but I give credit where credit is due. Brock was one of the reasons why WWE maintained some of their ratings, in a couple past years. You know what I'm saying? Prior years. So.
I'm gonna I agree with you, but I sort of disagree at the same time.
Okay.
So should Hogan have passed the torch to Bret and Shawn? Absolutely. Because now you got to think about it. When Hogan left, there was a stretch where before Rock got there, before Stone Cold, you know what I'm saying? When Stone Cold was still flying bright. Stunning Steve Austin, WCW. There was a where there was no star power. Obviously Hogan left. So Bret and Shawn actually were the guys. Now they didn't have the look they didn't super omega star. They didn't have the size of a super omega star. They were mid-sized guys who put on great matches. So like you said, hardcore wrestling fans, we respect that, and we kind of looked at, like, let's say Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect was still alive, and he would be in this category too. I mean, if he would have been pushed to the top to be a heavyweight champion, then yeah, he would be in this conversation as well. But like I said, Brett and Sean were the ones who kind of held WWE afloat. You know what I'm saying? And as hardcore fans, we kind of like, okay, we watched it and we liked it because of those two. Now, you know, Rock, Stone Cold, they brought on a different demographic. You know what I'm saying? Where Stone Cold was a trash talker, because during the Attitude Era, it was more about trash talking and, you know, getting the crowd over, getting everybody hyped. And Stone Cold and The Rock had that. So that's, I mean, obviously, you know, Rock had, you know, great in-ring ability. Stone Cold was okay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, but their reaction outside of wrestling is what got them over. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Stone Cold Sunday. So, but Sean and Brett more so based their stuff off wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, Sean, we got to think about it like this too. Sean was in a different space at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, that's when Sean was heavy on drugs, and his mindset was, I'm about to just go party. I'm a celebrity. I'm about to just enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? So now if he would have had the mindset he has now, if he's focused on being that guy, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure he would have done wonders. And like I said, now to answer the question, you know, but again, yeah, Hogan should have had Hogan even had opportunity to do so. You know what I'm saying? Because we talked about last show when he's supposed to go back and forth with Sean, have 3 matches, you know, and them splitting 2 in this deciding match. Hogan didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't remember a match that Hogan even had with Brett. You know what I'm saying? Outside of the match that WCW that you talked about, but you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's sad that you got these guys who are such top stars, but they don't want to come back to help put people over. Because I mean, MVP's main reason for coming back to WWE this year was to put people over. But then you know he started talking, you know, started her business. They was like, you know what? Nah, we want you to do this. You know what I'm saying? You know, Rey Mysterio is another one. When Mysterio came back, he was losing every week to Andrade. Like, he was like, wait, what the hell's going on? So, you know, certain stars are, you know, they don't mind putting people over, but then you got guys like Hogan who thinks he's bigger than the company, who shouldn't have to put people over. So, yeah, I think he definitely should have passed the torch. Because like I said, Rock and Brett were the best that we had at the time. Even Cena, you know, when Cena was on top of his game, he was the best that was there at the time.
Okay. All right. I got something for you. Okay. Because it's sort of a, you know, I kind of see it like a damn if you do, damn if you don't. Like, you could bring up a great argument of why he didn't have to, and you could bring up a good argument, which will be more common. People more commonly agree with is that he should have done it because these guys were the next in line. These guys were very talented. And what Sean and what Brett brought to wrestling was something different. They brought the technicality. They brought strong in-ring performance, which wasn't really seen or really valued as much as it could have been. Like, we had a glimpse of that with Steamboat and Savage at a WrestleMania. With counters and reversals and a lot of, high intensity wrestling. And Sean and Brett brought that, you know what I'm saying? They really brought a lot of that. They made it, besides cutting, great promos, they really, it wasn't so much charisma. It was more so in-ring ability that they really kind of brought, but they both still had charisma, undeniable charisma. The thing is what I noticed about Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock, and John Cena is that while they were on top, I even say even Triple H, while they were on top, they brought in an era, and that era changed the feel of things. It made wrestlers around them, it made the business changed around them. and they for instance, like when you had Hogan's era, everything was colorful, everything was magic, everything was shiny, glossy, flashing lights, high volume, high colors. You know what I mean? A lot of character, a lot of charisma, a lot of promos. And Hogan, it was like Hogan's character elevated the business to that level, right? When you had Austin was the Attitude Era. You know what I'm saying? Even though Shawn and DX is part of the working of that, because Shawn was like really the first heel that people cheered for. Like, not the first heel, but he was one of the first heels that people cheered for, that you didn't know whether he was a good guy or bad guy. He was part of the enhancement of the Attitude Era. It was Austin who kind of made that feel of the Attitude Era increase. It was like things around him changed. Same thing with The Rock, sort of like, you know what I'm saying? But let me just jump to Cena, because I don't want to go to everybody. But Cena, right? Cena, when he came in, he started rapping, and then after he stopped rapping, he decided, okay, we're going to make this the PG era. You notice that when he made it the PG era, it felt like PG. Like they weren't cutting the edgy promos they were anymore. They weren't doing the edgy stuff like they used to do. More like adult content. All that stopped. So these guys brought in that feel of that era. When the new generation came in, with Brett and Shawn, it was just like, it didn't feel like an era came in. Even though it was a new generation, even though it was there, it didn't feel like the climate changed in wrestling. It was, and that's just my take, So that was the thing that, and I'm just saying, like, that was the thing that Hogan was looking for. Because when we point out those guys like a Austin, like a Rock, and we look at those guys, like even when Triple H was like the man, like the villains, most of the villains became more dominant.
Right.
So let me just hit this comment section real quick, Jay. Ethan Wick, they felt like celebrities back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even, Shawn Michaels, like I said, he was a flashy, flamboyant guy. He, came out. He might have been the first wrestler to come out with him singing in his theme music or whatever,
I think it was.
So yeah, so he came out, and he had the little flashy gear, the little like we said, the motorcycle boots with, you know what I'm saying. So he, the little fancy tops, and then even out with women, WrestleMania was it 11 or 12, no 13 when he came out with Pamela Anderson, Sable, you know what I'm saying, like, so. That wasn't Sable. Pamela Anderson and the other Jennifer McCarthy. You know what I'm saying? So like he was like Ethan said, he was more like a celebrity back then. With the entrance, the flashiness and stuff like that. See, Brett was a basic wrestler. You know what I'm saying? He great promo, but Brett wasn't into the flash and then like that. But Shawn was more flashy, more turning of the tide, I should say. From traditional basic wrestling to more wrestling / entertainment aspect of it, so with the fireworks, the pyro, and anything like that. So yeah, like Ethan said, they were definitely celebrities. And like I said, I felt Shawn kind of started that shift a little bit.
Excellent. Ethan Wick says, I feel like CM Punk could have did it, but they cut it short. Yeah, I think. What'd you say, Jay? Go ahead.
I think CM Punk. And like I said, there's three versions of every story. There's his side, her side, and the truth. But yeah, like I said, Punk, he claimed that he was hurt, and they didn't want to give him time off. I'm sure if Vince and WWE gives their side, it will be something different. They'll paint CM Punk as a disgruntled employee who didn't want to do anything, blah blah blah. So but I think Punk did have the potential to, be the guy. His promos was great. His in-ring ability was off the charts. He just like Sai said numerous times, on many shows, he just didn't stick around to see what happens at the end.
Okay, Jay. Question. So Jay, so an article just came. I just got an alert. It just came across my my laptop. We were having a conversation before we got on about wrestlers being unhappy about their contract offers. All right, real quick. Ethan Wake says, "Dude was in Playgirl."
Yeah.
Yeah, Shaw was in Playgirl. He absolutely was. So I just got an article that just came across my laptop. I think we should talk about this real quick.
Okay.
All right. So this is an article that just came across. Me and Jay were talking about this. I'm going to read into it real quick. It says several WWE names unhappy with new contract offers. So apparently, I think we were talking, and I think you were telling me that I don't know. Well, tell me if I'm saying it right. That some WWE superstars were not signing the contracts.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that. I completely forgot about that one. Yeah, because the Booker T one kind of took us off track. But yeah, so several superstars, including Raw and SmackDown superstars, they're not releasing names yet. They said the names should be coming soon. But they are several superstars that aren't signing long-term contracts, or they rejected long-term contracts until quote unquote things get better. So apparently, like, a lot of people aren't happy with what's going on backstage and things like that in WWE. So they're kind of like not, ready to sign long-term deals. We all know Matt Riddle signed his, but other top names are like, no, we're not doing it. So I mean that might put a little pressure on Vinnie Mac.
A lot of pressure, Jay. This could mean something very big for professional wrestling, in a sense that we may possibly have, sort of like a revolution happening where, you have a lot of top guys or a lot of names, marquee names going over to competition. And just imagining, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins. I don't think Seth would go though. I could see Kevin leaving. Seeing like marquee names, former world and universal champions going over to AEW to wrestle would be, crazy, because we already had one, and that's Jon Moxley. But if something like that was to ever happen,
right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy that a lot of people feel that way, and I forgot. I mean, we do so many shows, and I talk about wrestling all the time. I don't remember if we did on the show, but think about it. Jericho pitched a bunch of ideas to Vince. Cody Rhodes pitched a bunch of ideas to Vince. Imagine if Vince would have listened to some of those ideas. If Cody probably would still be in WWE. Jericho would still be in WWE, and there will be no AEW right now. You know what I'm saying? So Vince has to, he has to like open up and listen to other people, because you have to go with, you have to go with the new times. Like, this is not the old wrestling era that you dominated throughout the 90s. You know what I'm saying? It's a new era, new age. So, and so Vince has to adapt to, the new generation and new crowd.
No, he absolutely does. Thank you, Sean Keys, for joining us. Thank you, Sean. Yes, sir. Thank you for coming on. So we're actually talking about we just got an article. Me and Jay was talking about this. This article that just got put out. Several WWE names unhappy with new contract offers, and we were talking about the possibility of some of the marquee names leaving WWE, going to the competition like AEW. I'm thinking AEW, because AEW is the competition that's really trying to be on the same level of WWE. They have the finances, they have the resources to actually do it, to really do it. But what would that mean? Because even though it will be similar to the Monday Night Wars, but I think it would be a little bit different. And I think it'll be different in the sense that it'll be more successful.
I was gonna say AEW right now, it is giving me, as much as I love it, and I do, it's giving me the WCW feel.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping it's giving me the beginning of WCW.
Right.
I'm hoping they don't go that NWO route.
Right.
And I feel they were slightly going there a little bit. I think they do need. See, so before I did agree that they did need a couple more big names for notoriety purposes to kind of bring fans in, but I think they're building stars, kind of like what WCW was doing, where there were people we didn't know about before. Nobody knew who Rey Mysterio was, like pretty much all of the cruiserweights. Nobody really, unless you really in the 90s followed wrestling, which we were all kids, so none of us did.
Right.
But you know what I mean? Like,
right.
we didn't know who Eddie Guerrero was and, stuff like that. So, like, they built stars. And that's kind of the same as AEW's doing, especially with their tag team division. Could they use one or two more heavyweight big names? One or two? Yeah. I think outside of Jericho, Cody, Moxley, Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Brian Cage, if they decide to put him in that world title picture.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's not really too many I would feel can carry the company right now.
Right.
Belt wise. So I would agree. I think they need it. That would be the ideal place to go. If anybody leaves WWE, that's where they're looking to go. TNA maybe.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor. I mean, all of them are starting to get better, but AEW has the TV contracts.
Yeah.
They have, like you said, they have the money.
Yeah.
They have I can't think of the word I'm looking for.
They have the finances, definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely the finances. They're being seen. That's all it is. They're on that same almost. I ain't gonna say almost. They're on the same level as WWE as far as being seen.
Yeah.
They got the TV contracts, and that's big. That's the biggest ones. Yeah. TNT and USA is where, and Fox. That's where you want to be as far as TV. TNA isn't on a channel that we care about. Ring of Honor's. I mean, they're not. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, that's true. That's facts. That's
mean, Ring of Honor is on Fox, but then it comes on so late at night that we forget to even come on still for real.
Right.
So New Japan doesn't have a U.S. contract in a sense where I think they're on Fox Sports 1, I believe, or something like that.
Right.
When it does come, when the reruns from their Japan show does come on. So, I mean, those new contracts are, I get it because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. I think most of it is just going to be because of the pandemic. They're not going to be as big as they were. They might not be as long as they were before. Same thing as they were trying to rehire some of the guys that they let go.
Yeah.
But they were giving them less money. And I think that had to do with the pandemic.
Yeah.
Even though WWE has made more money since the pandemic than they did before, from what I've read.
Yeah. Real quick from the comment section below, we have Ethan Wick, who has a few comments. He mentions Sami Zayn, Sami being one of the people that possibly may go to AEW. Ethan Wick also says fans would be happy just to see some of their favorites put on great matches again. Very true. Ethan Wick says, I have to watch Impact on Twitch. One other thing, Jay has another rumor. He wants to share. Jay?
All right. I sort of kind of agree with it, so I'm going to see if you guys feel the same way. So Lance Storm says WWE should rotate talent instead of keeping them active all year. So this is what he says. WWE will sometimes put talent to a big match only to have them lose. Then they will continue to lose while falling down the card. If they could just take a vacation, then things might be better all around. During the Wrestling Observer Live, Lance Storm talked about WWE's booking strategy. He said that rotating talent on and off television could benefit them in a lot of ways. He even gave a couple of instances where it would be helpful. So this is what Lance said. I think it would be phenomenal if they only use 9 months out of the year, so they got a few months off. That way, when you use somebody, I think the really key point is to make if wins and losses make matter more. And if you build Kevin Owens for 6 months, he had a big feud with Roman Reigns. Roman won. Then I would have Kevin Owens disappear for a couple months because you don't want if he then Kevin Owens goes down the card and loses his star power. You could have him disappear, and then he comes back and it's fresh and exciting. Everyone's like, "Oh man, Kevin Owens is back." I think rotating guys in and out would be better because that to me was the highlight of whether it be Monday Night Raw or even earlier than that. Because when Flair came to when Flair came to WWF, it was a big deal with that run. When his run was over as champ, they were going to move him down the card, so he went back to W. Perhaps WWE would serve themselves and their superstars better if they rotated people in and out instead of keeping them around all year. It would give fans a chance to miss people before they make a surprise return.
Interesting. Ethan Wick, he says, I like that. He likes the fact that wrestlers will be rotated. So Jay was pretty much saying that. I'm hearing some feedback. When you guys have your volume? Yeah, I'm hearing like feedback. Yeah, I'm hearing like a little feedback. All right. Also, Ethan Wick said that would be dope. So what Jay was saying that Lance Storm was talking about a rotating of superstars who would who after they have a big feud would kind of take some time off or take some time in the back seat, then come back, and it'll be like a fresh start for them again. Rather than them actually going into a feud, moving down the card and kind of being sort of like reused to where it's like when they get presented back into like the heavyweight title picture or like the big main event picture, they seem a little stale, where it kind of takes a little bit from them. Actually, rotating superstars would be a better idea. You know what? What's so funny? That's one of the reasons why I liked Kofi Kingston's title reign, was because they kept rotating different superstars for him to go against. They had Randy Orton, they had Dolph Ziggler, they had Kevin Owens, right? Yep. Even how they infused Kevin Owens into him feuding with Kofi, like he became part of New Day, then he turned on him, it was cool, so they just kept rotating superstars in the mix, bringing superstars in the mix, which is really cool. And they need to do stuff like that where you can't you have Randy Orton fighting 4 matches against Drew McIntyre, and then on the 5th try he gets the title, and then on Drew McIntyre's rematch he gets the belt back. It's just like, all right, so we seen 6 matches against this guy over a course of 6 months, which is not really the case. It was more like a course of like 3 months. But the fact of the matter is that it was the same person over and over again, rather than him feuding with a mixture of different people like how they used to do it.
I think that helps though, especially with them, especially a lot of those NXT stars. And I say NXT stars because it was a lot of the bigger names that they brought up that they're doing nothing with. They're kind of just there. That's why Ember Moon went back down. That's why what's his name that his girlfriend got fired. Same thing with Aleister Black. Like they don't I know originally they said they had nothing for him, but at the same time, I understand they have too much going on. You have your Monday show, your Friday show, and then you have NXT. I think they still do 205 Live.
Yeah.
Which is just on the network, I believe. And then that's it. I think either rotating the superstars or adding a lower show, like a Saturday night show, maybe bringing main event back or something. Something where you're able to rotate that talent, but at least have them be seen, or having another show that's maybe on the network.
Yeah.
But something where they're being seen. Because, you got a lot of talent that you see them on a random, if it's a fight backstage and they're trying to break up the 2 people fighting, random wrestlers are coming in and grab them. And you're like, I forgot you were even still working for the company. Where you been at?
Right. Real quick from Ethan Wick. Ethan Wick says it would help them physically stay fresh and also keep their star power. You know what? This is very interesting because, when we go into depths about, these conversations about, things that could be done and how wrestling could be better, it seems to me that Sean knows a lot about wrestling. Sean,
I can't
a lot about wrestling, but how much do you know?
Nothing. Let's go.
Oh, Shawnee boy. Oh, Shawnee boy. It's about that time.
Oh man.
J. Mac May.
All right.
Hey man, don't do me like you did Anthony, man.
See, shout out to Anthony, but he was laughing my first set of questions. You know, first set of questions. So I was like, all right, let me make it a little harder for him. But this is you know this one. So I give you an easy one to start off with. Who was the fastest person to rise to become the WWE champion?
Fastest. Finn Balor.
Mm-mm.
That's a good guess, though.
Yeah,
I didn't think about Finn either.
Only other person I can think of is Randy Orton.
Nope, there was two before Randy.
There's a lot before Randy. There's about like 8 people before Randy.
As far as being the fastest?
Yeah.
The fastest rise to be WWE.
Can't be Diesel. Okay. I give up on that one.
All right.
Jay.
So the answer is Ric Flair. So Ric Flair became champion for 113 days.
It was Ric Flair, the Nature Boy.
I would have never guessed Ric Flair.
Yeah, me either. When Jay asked me that question, I was like, I said Brock, and I said Undertaker, and he was like,
yeah,
no.
I didn't even. You know what? I didn't even think about those two because the Undertaker hadn't been in the company long.
Yeah,
when he beat Hogan.
Yeah, and yeah, I was like Ric Flair, 100 and what 14 days or something like that. 114, yeah, 114 days. Ridiculous. All right, Jay.
All right.
Next question.
After NXT, they announced the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic is coming back in 2 weeks. Can you name the previous 5 winners?
Previous 5 winners?
Yeah.
And remember, you get 4 of these questions right.
4 out of 5. You get 4 out of 5.
Right. 4 out of 5 right.
Who won the fucking Dusty Rhodes? Bro, they ain't did that joint in so long. I can't even remember. Hold on. Damn. Now, see, when I'm in the audience, all of this comes to me like that.
Right. Exactly.
The moment you're on the hot seat, it's like,
yeah.
I definitely would be in the comments now, like, hell, know this? Hold on.
Right.
Dusty Rhodes Classic. Because in the beginning, they were putting random tag teams together.
Right.
One of them, hold on, did they win it or did they make it to the finals? It was Pete Dunne, and he had a random partner, yo. That I was shocked that they were even partners. Now I'm trying to remember all the tag teams that were even in NXT at one time.
So honestly, I don't. All these people, all the whole list, 2 of them were actually tag teams. Everybody was random singles that was put together.
And that's what I thought. I figured the rest of them were kind of randoms.
Yeah.
All right, I give up. I ain't gonna hold you.
All right. The first set of winners were Finn Balor and Samoa Joe.
Okay.
The second one was Arthur Payne. Third was the Undisputed Era with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly when Pete Dunne turned. Roger Strong on.
Yep.
Pete Dunne. Aleister Black and Ricochet was after that, and
I totally forgot about them.
The last set of winners was the Broserweights, Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle.
Okay. I knew Dunn was one, and he had a random partner. I just couldn't remember who.
Yep, it's the Bro, the original Bro.
See, this is horrible. I know way more than I'm letting on. This is horrible.
Anthony Cobb has joined us. Thank you, Anthony Cobb. What's up, Ant?
All right. So, Mr. Money in the is an 8-time tag team champion. Can you name all 5 of his tag team championship partners?
Oh, this shouldn't even be hard. It was Miz and Morrison.
Okay.
It was Miz and Morrison. It was Miz and I might be wrong, but I feel like it was Miz and Cena.
Yep.
Okay. I thought so. I'm trying to remember some of the feuds he had, and then he ended up being like Miz and Morrison, Miz and Cena. Was it Miz and no, I don't think so. Miz and Orton?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Miz and Morrison, Miz and Cena. Miz and He's an 8-time tag team champion? Damn.
Yeah, shocking.
Right. Hold on. I didn't think he had the belt again. Man. Ooh. Miz and Morrison, Miz and Cena, Miz and
Anthony Cobb says this is tough. He also says May not playing with the questions the last few weeks.
Right. Thank you, Anthony. All because of you. All because of you, sir.
Yeah, no, it wasn't because of him. You could actually thank Big Baby because when Big Baby came in, he blew through like all 5 questions.
I remember. No, he did. Like it was nothing. He didn't even hesitate. He was like,
yeah, he blew through.
oh man, listen. All right, I give up. I'm not. I got 2.
All right. So, the other 2 was Big Show.
Big Show. Yep.
I remember that. Sheamus?
Shane McMahon.
Oh yeah, because the best in the world, bro.
Yep.
How did I forget that?
And Damian Mizdow.
Yeah, see, forget about. I forgot all about Damian Sandow.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is now. Totally forget about him.
All right.
Yeah, Anthony Cobb says my guy been digging deep in the archives.
He did. He all week he's been sitting at work like, yeah, I'm gonna get him this week. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, these questions I literally just came up with. I want to say, if not last night, definitely today, because I completely forgot about it.
Yeah,
all right. So, question number 4. Can you name the 4 women into the men's Royal Rumble, and can you also name the 3 women's Royal Rumble winners?
4 women that were in the men's Rumble, and then 3 women who. All right, so I know Nia Jax was one.
Mm-hmm.
China.
Mm-hmm.
Beth Phoenix.
Yep.
That was a shot.
Shoot. Yeah.
That was a shot in the dark. I ain't even gonna hold you. That was a pure shot in the dark. All right.
Oh wow. Anthony Cobb just named one that I didn't even think about, but I can't put the hands up.
I know. I'm trying not to click the chat. Like I'm purposely like not clicking the chat.
Yeah, don't click the chat.
It must be that the one I'm trying to guess must be the one Anthony said. It's got to be another woman that was powerful. I'm trying to remember. Tamina?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm giving myself one more guess on that one. Hold on. Wasn't Tamina? Who else was a powerful woman? China, Nia Jax. Beth Phoenix. Lita?
Nope.
Okay, all right. I give up on that one.
Karma. Which is also Awesome Kong.
Bro, I would have never guessed Karma.
Beth China, Awesome Kong. Yeah. I would have never, I never would have guessed that either.
The
Like
Beth Phoenix one was a shot in the dark because I kind of like just threw that out there. But I was trying to, the men's rumble, they always put like a powerful woman. They never put like, a little something that can get, something that can get thrown around.
Right. What about, can you name all 3 women's Royal Rumble winners?
Charlotte, Asuka. Charlotte won last year. Asuka won the first one. Was it Charlotte twice?
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte, Asuka. God damn it. That one should be easier. It hasn't been that many. Shit. Charlotte, Asuka, and Nia Jax?
Mm-mm.
All right, I give up.
Wait, Jay, let me post it. Anthony Cobb actually posted it up. Becky
did win because that was when the whole man thing started.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we got Ethan Wick says Ginger. I don't Ethan Wick says, I'm sorry, my bad, Jay. Ethan Wick says TNA, bro. He was talking about Awesome Kong. He says Welfare Queen from Glow. I don't know. And Anthony Cobb says the Queen, the Man, and Asuka.
Welfare Queen from Glow. Yo.
So last question. I'm gonna be nice. Out of the last 5 Royal Rumble matches, can you name at least 2 participants who entered at number 30 out of the last 5 years?
yeah. Jay.
I'm not even gonna try. I'm not. Nope. I know. Hold on. No. Hold on. You said out of the last 5 years?
Out of the last 5 years.
I feel like one of them is Shane.
So I'll give you a So in 2016 is when Roman Reigns had to defend his title in the Royal Rumble.
No. Brock Lesnar was one day.
Anthony Cobb says, can you repeat that real quick? He wants you to repeat it.
So out of the last 5, can you name 5? He named 2 out of the 5 participants into number 30 in the last 5 Royal Rumbles.
Out of the last 5 Royal Rumbles, can you at least name 2 entrants that came in at number 30?
Yeah.
So can you answer Anthony, can you answer the question?
I'm about to say, Anthony, you got it? Because
Anthony, you got the answer? Out of the last 5 Royal Rumbles, can you name 2 entrants that came in at number 30? So Ant says, he says Roman Reigns.
Yep, in 2017.
And he says in Triple H. Oh, shoot, so you got it.
Was that 2018 was Dolph Ziggler. 2019 was R2 for the Nia Jax attack number 30. And last irrelevant was the Monday Night Raw.
All right, excellent. So thank you, Sean, for participating in Do You Know Wrestling. Still,
I feel like the next episode, whoever's on, I'm gonna answer all the questions. I already know it. I feel like Anthony right now. Anthony just knew him.
Right.
So Anthony, Ant knew. So he just posted them up. But still, no, we're still gonna cash out you $10.
Look at the comment. Anthony's cheating.
You said what? You said Anthony cheating?
I've been watching number Rumbles this month. See?
Oh, let me see. Oh, I've been watching nothing but Rumbles this month. Right. Right. So I guess he was on point anyway. Yeah, let's get into NXT real quick.
I'm coming.
NXT Wrestling Review. I'm really excited about New Year's Evil this
I
week.
am too.
Really excited. Tommaso Ciampa versus Timothy Thatcher. We got Damian Priest versus Karrion Kross.
That's the one.
We got the rematch of Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly. And Io Shirai is fighting who again?
Io's not fighting. Io doesn't have it.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be Mercedes Martinez, but I think they're gonna build that up. It's gonna the other one is with the two women.
Rhea Ripley and Mercedes Martinez?
No, Rhea Ripley and
Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah, Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Last woman standing match.
Yeah. Now I'm not gonna lie. I never knew there was a backstory with Rhea and Raquel Gonzalez. Like I never knew they were really friends. Like
yeah, me either.
How they should show pictures like Miss in
Shane
to be, but Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez actually have pictures of them playing together on and I'm not gonna lie to you, Raquel Gonzalez looks a whole lot better without makeup. Like without the makeup, she was like a whole snack. I'm like, oh wait.
She don't look bad though. Like even on camera, I might got a thing for these big burly women that can look like they can bench press me or something. Man. I don't know.
But if you watch those videos, the pictures that they were showing with her and Rhea, and she had no makeup, like, wait a minute. So yeah, she's bad without makeup. But that whole backstory was caught me off guard.
Yeah, real quick. Ethan Wick says, I'm about to get my WWE YouTube degree. Anthony Cobb says, Kyle O'Reilly is about to shock the system this week and become the face that runs the place. I don't want Kyle O'Reilly to win.
I agree with Anthony, though. I don't think you give them a second match at another pay-per-view in a sense, and he doesn't beat him. I mean, maybe for another 5-star match, or maybe they're trying to build something with Finn, but I think but remember we said if Karrion Kross is eventually getting the title back, you don't have him beat Finn Balor. You have him beat a Kyle O'Reilly or somebody like that. You don't have him beat anybody that matters to get that title. Right. So I think somehow Kyle does get the belt. I think it does come back to Undisputed Era, but Karrion Kross eventually wins it back in the next. Kyle might have it for 3 or 4 months, maybe 3 at the most. Yeah. Which isn't that long just because they only do one show. So not that long. Maybe next pay-per-view he loses it. Yeah. Is what I'm thinking. But it's not far-fetched.
So that would mean that his match with Damian Priest would only mean, because even when they were brawling on NXT, it seemed like it was a back and forth with those two. When Karrion Kross, attacked Damian Priest, Karrion Kross pretty much dominated. When Damian Priest attacked Karrion Kross, it was like a back and forth. So I think what's probably going to happen is Damian Priest is probably going to get, he probably going to get waxed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's going to be a good match, but I think Karrion Kross is going to come out on top. And then, that's probably what's going to happen. Real quick, Anthony Cobb said, give it to Kross Mania weekend. So that's probably what's going to happen.
That makes all the sense.
I want to know what's going to happen to Finn Balor afterwards. I want to know what's going to happen. Like, is Finn Balor going to be the one? Like, is Finn Balor going to move up to the main roster? Are they going to do something new now with him? But I think after, when Finn Balor drops the title, he needs to go back to the main roster, and they need to put a bigger push back on his character.
They do. Especially if Raw, if they feel like Drew and Randy are even though I feel Drew, Randy, and The Fiend, but they feel like Drew and Randy are the only ones that can really carry the title. Yeah. this is the time to put Finn back up there and put the belt back on him.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, all the matches are pretty good, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
I think that a lot of the outcomes are pretty predictable, I would think.
Okay.
Might be a little twist in there with that Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor, but I think Kyle wins it.
Okay.
Karrion Kross and Damian Priest, we know Kross is going to win.
Right.
But Damian Priest can go, so it's going to be a great match. I don't think – I kind of disagree. I don't think it's going to be Kross is just going to come in and dominate and like he did Tommaso Ciampa. Right. I don't think they're going to do that. I think he's actually going to showcase that he can actually like wrestle. It's going to be a match.
Okay.
He's still going to win, but they're just going to – it's going to be a little drama with it. So
right. Real quick from Anthony Cobb. Anthony Cobb says, whatever happened to the guy who took Adam Cole out the last time Finn and Kyle fought?
Yeah.
The one that beat him up in the crowd, right? Was it the crowd?
Yeah, because he's actually supposed to be in the War Games match instead of Pete Dunne. But, once he got hurt, they brought in Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne made more sense.
Yeah, he did.
I just hope they're done with, what's his name?
Oh, McAfee?
Yeah. Just go back to commentating, my guy. That's it.
I was very impressed by Leon Ruff again. His match with Johnny Gargano, yes. It was a good title defense match. That was a great match.
I like Leon, man. I think he'll be better on 205, of course, but he can go.
Yeah.
I think putting him in that cruiserweight picture, he'd be amazing. He can really go.
Right.
He can really go. And when you look at him, you wouldn't think that at all.
Yeah, you went Chicken George.
He looks like me. He looks like me. If I take my shirt off and wear some little ass draws and go wrestle, he looks like me. That's what he looks like. He looks like me, and I like that. I like that I can relate with a wrestler that looks like me. I don't need to be muscular.
Anthony Cobb says he looks like a roach you can't kill.
I don't look like a roach, but I like because I can. It's not too. How many? I mean, back in the WCW days and like early WWE, there were wrestlers that people could relate with. Yeah. They weren't all muscular. They were fat, overweight, but they could go.
Yeah.
I mean, getting a Leon Ruff for a guy like myself, he's my Superman right now, man.
That's good. That's a good comparison. So I'm trying to see who would I compare myself to? Who would you compare yourself to, Ty?
Who do I compare myself? I used to compare myself to Randy. Randy was my guy that I compared myself to.
Like as far as physique wise.
As far as what?
Physique.
The what?
Like body type, physique.
Oh, physique?
Yeah.
As far as physique, I would still say Randy. I think we have a similar body type. Yeah, I would say Randy.
Hey Jay, before you answer, I already know who you're gonna say.
Cool.
Crime Time, and I understand why, guy. I get it. Either one. It doesn't matter which one, Shot or JTG. I get it. I understand. Either one, it makes sense.
See, the little people know I do have a little, gut. So.
Yeah, gangster gut.
Yeah, I've been trying to get rid of this thing for years, and it just won't go away.
I was gonna say I met you with a gut.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say Kevin Owens' gut is a little bigger than mine. I'm not gonna say mine is that, but I would say like what's his name? Maybe Angelo Dawkins, maybe.
Yeah. I was thinking Angelo Dawkins in my head too.
Okay, I can give
real
you that
quick.
one.
Anthony Cobb says I used to compare myself to Triple H, DX, Triple H the day after Mania. Triple H. Ethan Wick says Husky Hairs for me.
Husky Harris.
Husky Harris.
Oh, that's who you been. I was like, hold on, Husky.
Husky Harris. He
Well, Bray Wyatt, the other one.
Oh, before Bray. Yeah, because you remember Bray was bigger.
Yeah, so
before he repackaged himself and kind of not really muscular, but he lost the gut and it all went up, kind of like.
So I can pretty much put myself in a Bray Wyatt spirit too. So yeah, Bray Wyatt, Angelo Dawkins, one of those kind of.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, let's talk SmackDown real quick. SmackDown before we move over to the ratings list. SmackDown review. NXT really did it for me this week. I'll be honest with you. NXT was on fire. I really enjoyed it. I watched SmackDown. It's so funny because I actually watched both shows back to back. I watched SmackDown and then I watched NXT, and NXT really had me excited. I'm ready for New Year's Evil. I'm ready for those matches. I seen SmackDown. I was like, okay, cool. It was good. It was all right. Big E had his first title defense.
Was turned into a match.
Right. Then we had what else was a high point? Kevin Owens getting beat up by Roman Reigns and Jey Uso.
Before that, he beat the brakes off Jey Uso. Roman, I'm gonna bring you to you. I'm like, yo, it's too bad for Jey.
We actually have a question real quick, Jay. Anthony Cobb, isn't Bray Wyatt the son of WWE legend IRS?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That would have been a good question. That would have been a good question to ask.
Well, and I would have killed that one. I know that. That one I know.
He knows that one. Okay.
That one I know.
Now, the highlight for me was the Street Profits 2021 predictions where they compared Shawn Michaels and Dolph Ziggler.
The Heartache Kid.
They had the side by side with Shawn and Dolph is doing this tune of the band music, strong connection, and then Dolph gets caught.
That was funny.
And then Rude and Dolph, kind of felt some type of way, so they came and attacked him. But I really think they're gonna give Rude and Ziggler the belt.
Yeah, I think so. I think honestly this is a perfect time for Dolph Ziggler to revamp his character. This is a perfect time because with the Shawn Michaels, and I think what he should do, and I thought about this too before they killed the Fiend. I felt like Dolph Ziggler should have had a match with the Fiend because you guys noticed that every time the Fiend feuds with someone, they change. Every time they feud, they change.
Except for Randy.
Except for Randy. When you feud with Randy, you change no matter who you are.
Well, Miz didn't change either. Miz just.
Yeah, Miz didn't change. That's true.
Miz might have been the first one that didn't.
Right. No, they did.
No, but remember, Jay.
Daniel Bryan didn't really change either, to be honest.
Wait, remember he was the he Fiend pulled his hair out, so cutting his hair.
Yeah, and he was like the whole save the world ecosystem kind of guy, and then after that but remember, Jay, you pointed out when Bray Wyatt feud with Miz, he didn't feud with him as the Fiend. He fought him as Bray Wyatt in a regular match. He didn't even turn to the Fiend on him. He just gave him a regular Bray Wyatt match and just beat him, and that was it. Real quick, Anthony Cobb says, before y'all go to ratings, I need y'all picks for the Royal Rumble in advance. Fellas, one pick and one pick only. That's a good question. All right, so we're going to go back to that real quick. I'm going to go to your other comment, Anthony. He says, I'm telling you, those shirts are going to be made soon. The Heartache Kid.
I need one.
All right, so Anthony Cobb says, before y'all go to ratings, I need y'all to pick the Royal Rumble winners in advance. Fellas, pick one and one only.
I feel like I don't know if I was on when y'all talked about that. I think y'all had did the.
I feel like I feel that right before, like the Sunday show before the room. I think that's when we should have everybody on. Sean, Ethan, Anthony, what's happening.
I think I remember who I said, and I'm kind of the way things are going. I think my pick is making sense.
Yeah.
So I think I
Who
said
you
Big
said?
E. I said
Big E.
Big E if it's a SmackDown winner. I said either Brian. It's either because of the title picture and what they
Yeah.
want to do. It's either going to be Daniel Bryan or Big E if it's from SmackDown. And I forgot who I said for Raw. The Raw one made sense too. I just can't remember who it was I said.
Yeah, so we'll save that one for January 30th, January something.
You said what?
I said when the Rumble is January 30th, I think.
And you want to save that for that time?
Yeah. Like I said, we'll bring Anthony, Ethan, and we'll have Sean on. All five of us will be on the show together, and then we can give our predictions right before the show.
All right, and so we're going to have you on January. What date is it, Jay?
Let me find out right now. It is January 31st.
All right, January 31st, Anthony Cobb, please set it in your calendar. We would like for you to come on, and we're going to have that discussion about who would our picks be for the Royal Rumble, because I'm looking in the comment section below. Ethan Wick is going with Keith Lee.
That's who I said for
Ethan
Raw.
says he's going with Big E. Now, this is the other thing. This is what I thought was very interesting when Anthony posted Big E. I said to myself, I said, you know, what would be really cool is if Big E did win the Royal Rumble and then challenges Drew McIntyre for the title, beats Drew McIntyre, becomes a champion on Raw, and reunites with New Day as WWE champion. That'll be dope. I would not have a problem with that at all.
I feel like at some point they're going to reunite anyway. So
Yeah.
That's a perfect segue to how they should, how if we were writers, how it should go. So I agree with you.
Yeah. Anthony Cobb, he says, yeah, that sounds good. I got y'all. I'm going to add it to my notes now. Excellent. Yes, Ant is coming on. We're going to have that conversation.
It's going to be a jam-packed show.
Oh, yeah. Jam-packed show.
Jay, remind me to put it on as a timer, not on the calendar, as a timer. Okay. For like 10 o'clock that morning, so I remember.
Okay, gotcha.
Excellent.
I'll actually be off that day, so we can actually, we don't have to do it so early, and we can actually, have the show a little longer. So.
And that's a Sunday, right?
It's Sunday, yeah.
It's a Sunday, yeah. That's January 31st.
Okay.
Last Sunday of the month.
And is that before Royal Rumble?
That's the day of the Royal Rumble.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's perfect.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we can give our rumors. We can get, talk our ish, and we'll have a better direction of who's in the Rumble, what's going on, and it's easier to give our predictions at that time. Right now, we're just throwing in.
Because you can kind of tell with the way the stories go, who's going to win. The women's one is the one that's going to be up in the air for me.
Right now, for the women, I'm banking either Bianca or Shayna. I'm going those two.
I'm going Bianca just because of if you really been watching and pay attention the way they're building her a little.
Right.
Yeah.
But they always throw a wrench into what we always think. So
that's true. Well, with this whole, issues with the contract signing, it may begin to stir the pot a little bit to help Vince become a little bit more motivated in listening to the talent backstage. Ethan Wick says, book it. He says, book that day. And Ethan Wick says, set up a heel time. So, but SmackDown overall for you guys.
Like I said, it was cool. Like I said, outside of the pre-process. And your girl, Sonya Deville back. That was kind of surprising.
Yeah, Sonya Deville coming back was really a surprise for me. I was really surprised about Sonya Deville coming back. Ethan Wick said Shotzi. He's, he knows
the Rumble.
Wow. That would be dope.
Yeah.
Now, what's funny is we're talking about surprise return. There's a rumor that tomorrow your girl Eva Marie tries to make her return tomorrow.
Nobody cares about it.
I don't know why she's coming back.
Right? Why is she? Why? Why are you here?
If she learns to wrestle,
Yeah.
then I'm all for it because she looks good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh, she does.
She does.
She's
Now if she
fine.
learns to wrestle with it,
Yeah.
because that's how Lana sucked at first. She still does a little bit, but she's getting a little better. So
Well,
Mandy Rose too. Mandy Rose is in that same category.
well,
see, Mandy Rose could wrestle though. I always thought she could.
Well, I guess at first it was more so looks for me, but she actually got better.
Anthony Cobb says, Eva Marie, I thought she was doing OnlyFans.
Right. Hey, Ethan, if you, or who said it? Anthony, if you got the link for that, you can, yeah.
Anthony, drop the link for Eva Marie.
You drop it for me.
We drop it for research purposes, so we can
research purposes
so we can talk about it.
Right, we need to discuss these. Get a little bit deeper into what Eva Marie has been doing lately. We don't know what she's been up to, but
we got to understand what she was doing before she came back with her character.
Right, exactly. Right, yeah, right.
We have her workout regimen, so
Right. I heard that Steph is supposed to be coming back.
Really?
Seth Rollins?
Yeah, Seth is coming back.
He's coming back this Friday. No,
he didn't take a real long.
Actually, he's supposed to come back this Friday. Actually,
it was supposed to have been this Friday that just passed.
Right, that's all about. Yeah, he's scheduled for this past Friday.
I think he would have took a little longer off, like after she had the baby.
Right.
Because he was gone for almost a month before she had the baby. Then he was only gone for like maybe 2 weeks or something like that after, maybe 3 after she had the baby. So I guess they gave him the T-Mobile time leave. He just got the 3 weeks and.
Yeah, and if you got paid, you got time behind that, you just pay for it. So.
Right.
Real quick from the comment section below, Anthony Cobb says, "Did you guys see the big white boy that Paul Heyman is trying to sign to WWE?"
I think it's his son, isn't it?
Who is it?
Brock Lesnar's son.
Really?
Yeah.
I know. I seen Taz's son is getting into the business.
Right. Speaking of Taz, I know, Sean, you're a big AEW guy. You're an AEW guy. But I did get a chance to watch Dynamite, and just like it was touching. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I don't watch a lot of AEW stuff. I don't.
Made me cry. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the Dark Order stuff, but just as I was telling the guy before the show, just knowing Luke Harper, it kind of was touching. Like it was one of them. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I know you're crying. You're crying kind of thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, I didn't see after every match all the talent, crying and hugging, and then the main event was Brody Lee Jr. picking his favorite 3 wrestlers to fight in that triple threat. I mean, a 6-man tag. It was dope.
Nah, that definitely was, and it showed. 10 did his thing in that match. I was kind of glad because 10 slowly had been progressing anyway.
Right.
And for him to be on in the main event like that, even though the circumstances, but still be in the main event and really showcase his talent like that was dope.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see how, like I told you when we were texting, how things are going to go with them, with their story going forward. As far as in the beginning, when they first came out, Evil Uno was the owner. I mean, not owner, it was the leader.
Right.
And then for as time progressed, and then once Luke Harper was let go with WWE, it was like, oh, hold on, let's bring him in, and he fit right in perfect. He just slid right into everything that the Dark Order had been doing leading up to it. I'm interested to see what's gonna if the Rowan thing was just for Wednesday, or if they're gonna have something worked out going forward. I could see him in the Dark Order too. Maybe I could see Eric Rowan being the leader also. And I think the one I told you about was Hangman. Hangman Adam Page being the new leader also.
Okay. Of the Dark Order?
Yeah. It's a story behind that I think because I've been paying attention to All Elite for a while. Even before Brody got there, they had this whole thing where it was F Adam Page. It was like a match or something that happened, and something that happened backstage, and they always used to say F Adam Page. And then now he's kind of done like Colt Cabana, and he tags with them a lot.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like around them a lot. So I think he's gonna slowly slide into being in the group. But I can see him being the leader too.
Yeah, that would be dope.
All right, we got a comment from the comment section below. Anthony Cobb says, that's what he looks like. He says that the guy that Paul Heyman is trying to sign looks like Brock Lesnar's son. And he says, I'm trying to find a pic to send y'all. Definitely send us that pic. I want to see who the guy is. I actually was trying to look it up on my phone real quick to see who the person was.
I didn't think Brock had a son that was that old. That was older than
Yeah, me either.
But AEW signing Brody Lee Jr. as an 8-year-old to a contract, I'm sure,
Yeah, I seen, what's funny though? I seen so many people that were in an uproar about that were actually bad about it. And they were like, they didn't understand the whole signing him as an 8-year-old. But I understood it because they can pay him without him actually doing anything.
Right, absolutely.
And it's kind of, even though Brody wasn't with the company very long, it's kind of a way to take care of his family after his death.
Absolutely. And then outside of that, and when he gets older, he decides to wrestle. You know what I'm saying? He already has a contract. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think more, like you said, more from a financial aspect, where they trying to help him out, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna front that Kendo Stick shot. MJF sold that like crazy. Like it don't even like he like, but MJF sold it.
Yeah, MJF sold the fuck out of it, as he should have.
Right.
All right, guys. So we are winding down on time. We are going to jump into our top three. Our top three tag teams in wrestling. I have a comment in the comment section below, real quick. Ethan Wick says, "Boom, boom, boom." Colt Cabana. He says, "I thought they gave him a contract for later." That's what he says.
It might have been for later. I don't remember the details. I just know they signed him to a contract.
Okay. All right. So we are going to get into our top three tag teams of all time real quickly. I'm just going to breeze through it real quick. So it's going to be me and you, Sean. Jay has to split. He has to make like a banana and split. I know that was corny. We're going to do our top three tag teams. We're going to just go through all our tag teams. I'm going to go through my picks, your picks, and Jay picks real quick, and then we're going to have to close out because we actually supposed to be on for an hour, but we are actually going into 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
Great show. This is a great show. Absolutely. So mine and your pick was the Dudley Boys. One of your picks was the Four Horsemen, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. Josue was supposed to join us today. He wasn't able to do it, but we still included his top three picks. So one of his picks was Harlem Heat. Legion of Doom was one of Jay's and Josue's choices. One of my choices was the New Day. The Outsiders was one of my choices as well. One of Jay's choices were the Rockers, the original Rockers, by the way. The Steiner Brothers was one of Josue's choices. So those are our tag teams of choices. We're going to rate two tag teams real quick. Ethan Wick says of all time. Yeah. These are our favorite tag teams of all times. Top three tag teams of all times. Ethan Wick, you could post who your favorites. Anthony Cobb, you could post your top three tag teams of all time. We want to know who's your top three. So we're just going to rate them from 1 to 5. I didn't create a chart because I thought it was going to. So I wanted to kind of like just make it real simple because I know it was going to be more time consuming if I made a chart. based, certain things and the criteria to rate them on. So I just left it based on a 1 to 5. How would you rate the tag team? So,
Okay.
Sean, we are going, and let's see. Let's go with, let's rate a tag team. Let's go with the Rockets. Let's try Jay's choices. How would you rate the Rockets overall?
I think overall they were a great tag team.
Okay.
I don't remember too much of their mic skills. I know in ring they were great. They were both of them.
Yeah.
Sean and Marty. They were a 5 in the ring. I would go for that time and era. I'd say a 5. They were a 5 for that time and era.
Yeah, actually, the Rockers were actually my first favorite tag team. They were my first. It's so nostalgic.
That's kind of what made me a Shawn Michaels fan, for real, being a Rockers fan.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very much a big fan of the tag team. So when that whole situation happened at Brutus Beefcake's barbershop, when he threw Marty Jannetty in class, I was like, as a kid, I was like, why? I was like, why did you do that? I was a little heartbroken because they had, I've seen them, try to climb the ranks to win the tag titles. They actually won the tag titles. I found out that after winning the tag titles, it was actually considered an unofficial tag win or something like that. They won the titles, and it was actually like deleted from history somewhat.
What?
And, yeah, that's what I heard, but I could be wrong. And then, but yeah, when they split up, I was a little sad as a kid. And then when Shawn went on his own, my brother was a Shawn Michaels fan. I wasn't too much of a Shawn Michaels fan, but he was a Shawn Michaels fan as a kid. But yeah, they were actually one of my favorites. To rate them from 1 to 5, I mean, as a kid, for liking them so much, but yet they never really accomplished their real goal. I would have to give them a 4. I gotta give them a 4. Ethan Wick, he says, Rock and Roll Express is one of his favorites. Ethan Wick says Harlem Heat and the OG LAX. Ethan Wick says too many great tag teams to name honestly. There are a lot of great tag teams.
OG LAX is definitely one of them. The new LAX was fire with but the old one with Hernandez and what was his name? Fuck, I forgot.
This is Impact, right?
Yeah, it was the one that was I remember one of them was Hernandez because Hernandez was the real big dude, and I can't remember the other guy's name. New LAX was fire too, though.
So I'm assuming because I know so they did a lot of mainly lucha style, right?
Yeah, because even Hernandez did. He was big, but he could go. He could really move.
Yeah.
So, damn, I forgot all about OG LAX, man.
Yeah, I heard. Well, I know about them. I heard about them a lot in Impact. I heard they were really good. Let's go with Legion of Doom.
Whoa.
Legion of Doom. Let's rate the Legion of Doom. Anthony Cobb says, and the one who really looked like he did 10 years in jail.
Right. I cannot think of his name, but he really looked like wrestling was just something to get out the streets, and he enjoyed it really good. But he was really in the streets for real.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting. His name was Homicide. I remember Homicide. Yeah. I was thinking of Homicide, but I wanted to be sure because I remember, like, wasn't LAX like 3 members?
The original LAX, I think, was.
Okay.
That was before when they left, the new LAX came in with damn, what the hell is their name? They're in AEW now with Jericho. It'll come to me in a minute. But yeah, that was before the new LAX when the other 2 left, and then he was alone.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the person's name. There we go. Yeah, K-Dog was their member.
Okay, I thought so, but I thought he was like the manager also because he really wasn't wrestling. But I think original LAX, he was still wrestling.
Because that K-Dog was Conan, right? It's Conan, right?
Yeah, that was before he got too old to really move.
Right. All right. So Legion of Doom, LOD. I would have to.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, John.
You sure?
No, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say LOD is always a 5 for me.
Yeah.
Wrestling, titles, ring attire, mic skills. Even after watching the Dark Side of the Ring and then kind of learning the behind the scenes stuff about them that nobody ever knew. So you would have never known the problems that they were having with each other.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that they were having like in between each other. But I mean, they really dominated on all levels at every company. New Japan, WWE, even when they went to WCW for a stint, like they were good everywhere they went.
Yeah.
So I would definitely give LOD a 5 easily.
Yeah, LOD is definitely a 5 for me. I didn't, I was so shocked and surprised. I was talking to one of my coworkers at my job, and we always talk about wrestling. You know, every time I come in, we talk a little bit. We ask each other, "Do you watch Raw?" I have two of my coworkers. We always talk about our wrestling, but one of my coworkers in particular, he mentioned that they won the New Japan Pro Wrestling tag title. I didn't know that. I was shocked.
Yeah,
I was like, "Really, Legion of Doom?" He's like, "Yeah, they won the New Japan Pro Wrestling titles." I was like, "Wow!" I was hit them and Hogan winning New Japan Pro Wrestling titles was a shock to me.
Yeah, I didn't know about Hogan. So when y'all had said Hogan the other day, that one shocked me. I knew about LOD.
Mm-hmm.
It's a couple, like if you actually look back through New Japan's like title histories of all the different titles, there's some champions that you'll be like, what? When? I didn't even know you were with the company.
Right. Like Vader. I found out Vader was like the world champion at one point.
I remember that. That was early,
I was shocked at that too.
Early New Japan, not early. Well, yeah, early New Japan when they were partnering with WWE and WCW in the early days.
Yeah,
they had a lot of different champions.
Yeah, that was a shock to me. I definitely have to go with LOD being a 5. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. They were a 5. Everybody loved LOD, especially their ring attire. The spiky football pads. The football spike pads. Yeah, they were. Yeah, Ethan Witt gives them a 5. He gives them a 5. Rates them a 5. All right, we're gonna do this last one, and then we got to wrap up because we are like well over time. Harlem Heat. Let's do Harlem Heat because Booker T. Booker T's been out there talking a lot, man. He had this thing with Sasha. Then we got this thing where he's talking about The Rock. So before you came on, I think you was watching.
Yeah, I was watching at that point.
Yeah. And so this whole thing with Booker T talking about, The Rock, stealing his, his catchphrases and stealing a little bit of his style. Yeah, but let's rate Harlem Heat. Let's rate Harlem Heat. It is, I don't know. I'm gonna be very unbiased, of course. But
I was gonna say I am too. But Harlem Heat, they're just like LOD to me. It's another 5. Even though it was only WCW.
Yeah,
the domination in WCW, the like you said, the fuse, the mic skills, the attire, the wrestling, Sister Sherry being with them,
right?
It 5 for me, man. Like they really, and the fact that they were a black tag team,
absolutely.
That we, again, as kids, you could relate to.
Right.
We might not have looked like them, but they look like brothers that we grew up seeing. Like,
yeah.
They didn't look like anything, spectacular, and then they weren't over muscled. They look like two guys you might have seen in your neighborhood or something like that. So,
yeah, I think one of the biggest things for me about Harlem Heat that really attracted me to Harlem Heat was, it's all those things that you said, but I think what was like the icing on the cake was when Booker T would do the spinneroonie in the ring, and that was gold to me as a kid. I was like, yo, this dude is spinning on his back. I'm like, yo, like I was
and of course, the one line that we always remember.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga. That alone, that soundbite alone is
Wait,
always
okay.
gonna be legendary.
So either way, like just posted like Hulk Hogan, we give him he gives him a 5. Yeah, absolutely. But Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga. You know what? You know what's crazy? They actually interviewed him about that, and they asked him. I gotta look at the interview where they asked him about. I think I looked at it, but he talked about that, like how did you feel about calling Hulk Hogan the nigga? And he was like, he said it was a slip up. Of course it was a slip up, but
yeah,
it's a famous promo video clip. It's hilarious.
Man.
Absolutely, we got to give Harlem Heat a 5. I love Harlem Heat. Yeah, we definitely love it. They were a black tag team wrestling in WCW. I remember them and Doom. Doom used to scare the hell out of me though. They were like these two big black dudes that were big, intimidating, and you felt the energy off of them watching them on the screen. They were very scary, but yeah, they were definitely.
I think some of the best matches I would love from watching them was them versus the Steiner brothers. Just to see the brothers, brothers versus brothers fight like that. But them versus Steiner brothers always had great feuds.
Yeah. Absolutely, they were definitely great. I think they're like a record-breaking 10-time WCW Tag Team Champions.
I believe so.
Yeah. They set a record in WCW that's never been broken. Legendary Harlem Heat. I can't believe Sasha Banks compared her and Bayley to Harlem Heat. You're bugging. She was bugging. But yes, Sean Keys, it has been a pleasure. Thank you.
As always, man. Sorry I came on late today, man. Daddy duties, man.
It's all good, man. It's all good, man. We just glad you came on, man. We are definitely going to cash app you that $10, man. Lunch is on us. We thank you for coming on. We thank you for your tribe. We thank you for your efforts. And wrestling. We know you know wrestling. We know you know wrestling, but we try to dig as deep as possible.
As you should.
How far and how deep the wells go of your knowledge in wrestling. And we love to challenge our guests who come on, and we hope you had fun. We had a lot of fun. We are definitely going to do this again. So we'd like to thank you guys for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. Thank you, Sean Keys, again. We are going to be going live again tomorrow with another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. We're going to have another guest on, and we're going to talk some more wrestling. We want to know your thoughts, and we want to talk. If you are catching us on Facebook Live, please smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. Please drop a comment in the comment section below. If you are catching us on Facebook Live, drop a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. I am signing off as your host, Saheem the Dream.
Sean Heyman.
Yes, Sean Heyman. And also, Sean Heyman, no Sean Keys. And also, I'm signing off for J Mac Main because J Mac Main had to go and make the donuts. So we will see you guys again for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. Peace.